Malphite, I think having like the Gwen in the top lane means that even if Yunara does get exploded, you still have a Gwen who can potentially clean up the fight.
Yep.
Is that important insurance.
And it's also Taeyeon's worst nightmare. Problematic.
Yep. I think Eclipse Spike is where the Ambassador is really going to feel good in this matchup no matter what.
Oh, Yukao goes for it. He finds Scout. Shockwave hits onto 2, but the Orianna should be going down. Willa picks up the first blood before the other mid laner goes down. Now Rich is making his way in, and Lehens uses the door beautifully. And the immune on the public execution is going to spell the end of King and a double for Willa.
And honestly, I think if Nongshim had just traded 1-for-1 there, that would have been fine. Bot lane no flashes after that one.
I imagine so. But I do like the gusto that Andal is playing with here. Look at him, full bodyguard mode. Trying to make sure that Jiu stays alive. Another hook going to connect, but the door is working very, very well. Ulti coming on through here from Jiu, though. Does have the barrier back up again. There's the flash out from Taeyeon, the dash forward. And Jiu's still looking for it. Taeyeon goes down. He walked to the Braum! Oh, no! He was fine. And then decided, nope, it is my time to die. And he did do that. All right. And now some crystalline overgrowth being eaten here. Taeyeon gonna have to back away and even further than he otherwise thought, as Willa is just going to drop from the sky. Teleport in from Scout to make sure that the dive doesn't come on down as Lehens misses the Glacial Fissure. And another hook is gonna connect here onto Scout as well. He gets chain CC'd and destroyed as Jiu collects another one. Oh, Nongshim, what's happened?
I feel like a broken record. You know, an overstay. You stopped the dive, you disengaged.
Do you know what?
Done.
Oh my god, do you know what this is? Oh, it's never mind. I'm gonna have to hold my thought here as another redive is going to come on through. Another hook's gonna land, of course it does, as it's magnetized when it's Andal. He tanks up the turret, and 2 swift kills onto that bottom lane again. This is just never a thing that you want to do.
Yeah, and now because of this, everyone dies. And it's just, you need to just take the little advantages. They're being so greedy.
There is a rock on the way. Unstoppable Force, and that is a very dead Gwen. Beautifully played there from Sponge before they can even go to the Scuttle Crab. And therefore, we will not throw the game on the Scuttle. We'll do it under the enemy turret instead.
They figured out there's no Scuttle Crabs under the enemy turret.
Completely wide.
Yes, we've hit the Eclipse part of the game for the Ambassador. So, Malphite ult up in 3, 2, 1.
Rich has flash this time. Let's see whether he flashes it. And he doesn't. He's just dead. Sometimes if you just go point blank, the rocket will land.
Yeah, cutting the ribbons open and the presents. Rich is going to be great at that. Unfortunately, they're on opposite sides of the map.
Well, Rich is not as immune as he wanted to be here, but there is a Pantheon coming down and he keeps himself alive. There is the stun, and Kingin solo goes down. Yukao gets in there, pushes Sponge back, and Rich gets his revenge. Help mitigate some of that, but there is still a huge lead between these 80 carries, and fighting 2v2 is not recommended.
Ow.
As, the Arc of Ruin comes on down, and more plates are just evaporating from this turret. Hook gonna connect as Jiu gets in range. A lot of damage here, wants to be able to get the kill. Andal's down already, though, as Taeyeon flashes. Jiu picks up the kill, and now Taeyeon's trying to deal with these minions. One auto from either team. Oh, dear.
That's cheating.
Willa just walks in. Unfortunately, Jiu called his cousin, and so that fight is not fair. It's not playground rules.
I love how Taeyeon's like eyeing up Jiu, like, can I do it? Can I take him?
Yeah.
The answer's no, by the way. Jiu has barrier. But Willa just walks in like, don't worry, little bro. This ends up super hectic, this bot lane 2v2. Oh, but we don't get to see more.
Yeah, another fight to come on through here as the exhaust onto Scout. Let's see whether he can get much done with the Shockwave. It hits 2 as the Unstoppable Force, as soon as it's used to escape, you know everything's gone wrong as DRX moved to a 5,000 gold advantage.
I'm a little bit concerned.
Snip, 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 snip. Okay. Maybe Kingin's paper, as Taeyeon is dead. All right. Jiu just killed him. Oh dear. We need to get into Chijijik or Soup and just tell everyone to stop watching. There's too much watching at the moment. I
think the main thing that I'm seeing from this game is that the 3-0 Predators for Nongshim are kind of doomed.
Well, yeah. I was thinking about doing some play-by-play, but I think that what we saw speaks for itself.
Resistance, to be fair, anywhere, at any point on the map.
Ah, this is the Jew
buff.
walks at him and he dies. Really glad we got Provy on that one.
Oh, there's Willer
Scout
again.
is dead again.
Wow.
Willer is looking for an opportunity here. Winter's Bite does connect. The Sponge doesn't take a lot of damage, but I think he may start to as another unstoppable exit.
DRX has taken a lot away from their loss against D+.
Yeah.
They clearly just went, you know what, guys?
Joker actually spoke about this in the early game. That's definitely good, but unfortunately, that has been mitigated by two sad ults. As now Lahen's going to throw down his ultimate as well. Taeyeon gets knocked up, though. It's a fantastic depth charge as Jiu makes his way in, and Nongshim with their rock available. And there it is. The triple knockup does come on through. The two-man shockwave comes down, but there's the Empress Divide as Rich gets into the backline. Scout's getting cut up, and they just don't have the damage. Jiu, he's got a rock in front of him, but he's decided he's just going to hit it 1,000 times, and it eventually will go down. Nongshim just had no damage.
Jiu was like, I'm just going to be like water and just hit this rock constantly.
I'm just going to channel thousands of years of erosion. Stand beside me, going to work out very well there for Lahen's to disengage. Some of these health bars aren't exactly looking the best, and with Shelly coming down, that is going to mean this turret does fall down. Nongshim, decent macro play there to be able to get an outer turret. And I think
it's been struggling.
Yeah, it's interesting, right? Because you think about it as this means that it's dumb to ban it. It's not actually the case. A lot of the reason why a lot of things are banned is so you don't have to worry about it. Yeah.
Which already has 1 win and 5 losses.
And he also was available in this series and just didn't get picked. Just one of the first times, I think, that Jace has been left up, but not actually chosen. Never mind. Thankfully, the poignance is mitigated somewhat. Can Sponge actually make it into the pit? That's going to be the question here, as there is the flash out from Andal. They take the Baron. Sponge does find a triple knockup. There's a public execution to the backline as King is going ballistic. The rock does go down, but Jiu is still alive, and Kingan's wiped out. The wallets, ladies and gentlemen, are full of gold bars. And if you didn't know, they weigh a lot, like a really large amount. He's got 2.5 items compared to 4.
80 carriers have a gold quest, by the way. He gets extra gold.
It's like one of those, like he's playing an open world game, he's ignored the quest.
I love when I talk about the levels and they just pop the graphic up.
Oh, okay. Oh, he's killable now as 1 versus 4 with, everything thrown at him. There you go. Kitchen sink, the direct counter to Yanara.
There we go. That'll stall out a little bit the push from DRX. Without an 80 carry, I don't think they can go too aggressive with this Baron. The thing is, cracking the base already.
Oh, Sponge is getting... No, but Scissors is bad against Rock. Rich, you don't understand. You're playing it wrong.
I feel like so many years of my life as a child on the schoolyard has just completely been dismantled.
Yeah, because it's not exactly relevant at this point in time, but it is a thing. That Nongshim are going to have to try and mitigate in 10 seconds time. They're looking for Andal. He's going to try to get in there. Doesn't quite find the hook as Kingan taking a lot of damage. Depth charge doesn't quite work, but now Rich is a Gwen in the front line, and my God, the damage is revolting! Jiu's dashing around, doing what he wants, public execution, but not for anyone on DRX. It's unfortunately Nongshim that are going to be executed here, and DRX are going to do it. They'll take down the inhibitor turret here on this bottom side of the map, and that is all she wrote here for game 1.
Just absolute decimation. I know they're ahead, I know they're fed, but they just wiped the floor with Nongshim. And considering how favored the predictions were towards Nongshim,
I know, coming into this, you'd think they'd have to be a complete moron to predict DRX in a series like this. And Alistair R5 or B5 in this case is very, very nice when Silas isn't available. And so I think DRX is going to be feeling pretty happy with how this draft went.
Yeah,
should be able to take it as well with Yukao making his way back to lane.
Yeah,
a lot of priority there.
So many times recently we just haven't seen Corki having the success in lane. I think this was kind of the point I was saying in draft about, do we see them pick up support in the first 3 with the Corki? They had a chance to, they didn't. The timing for Nongshim, who were looking to capitalize just before he got it.
Oh no, that was not the time to walk up, Taeyeon! Sometimes the Arcane Shift comes down and the regret immediately follows as Lahen's kind of wishes he hadn't flashed in that mid lane because he is likely dead as well. No Aftershock left, and Jiu collects another double!
Impatient.
We're still doing push-ups.
Oh man.
All right, we're good. Yeah, this Ox I hate to just be a broken record, you know, but where did that take place? In the bottom lane.
In the bottom lane.
No scuttles there.
That's true.
No
It's both good weirds.
Yeah.
Oh, he's like, hey, we could make a play. Oh, he's just talking shit to it.
Yeah, who would have thought?
The thing is, Lehens has no flash, and he has Cataclysm, so he's like 1,000,000% dead, but they're like, hey, let's just see if we can kill him without ulting.
Yeah.
And they can. But it's like, just it's so nice when you have that support left over.
Beautifully done.
Okay, Dragon Fight. Top lane is resetting to TP.
Lehens does get spotted here on this flank angle. Teleport to come forward from Rich, looking to get in there. Zenithblade goes wide. The Pulverize doesn't. Hits onto 2. There's the knockup from Willer as well as cease and desist into the backline. Finds the Corki. And it is going to be the Cloud Drake taken down. And DRX again just mop them up. Nongshim just finding no joy in this game. And Nongshim still not able to find too much, but now maybe a dive attempt could be coming in, or Andil trying to save the play. Scout flashes over the top, and the threaded volley connects onto the Syndra. Andil wanting to get in range of a headbutt Pulverize, but he will not get there. And finally, Nongshim are on the board.
Decimated. You know, Kingan's only just joining now. Taeyun didn't get to do anything. Scout's out the fight. This is where it gets a bit messy, though.
This was well played.
Yeah, this got a bit crazy. This is kind of like Nongshim, like we have to get something from this.
Oh, looks to find the angle, flashes the Scout of the week.
Yeah, and also Kingan got a good flash there as well, otherwise Andil would have CC'd him on the tower. This was risky, I'll be honest.
Items, in fact, it is just Steel Caps that are the difference, and I think he felt like he was a lot stronger than he actually was.
Yeah, Steel Caps definitely helping though. Yeah. Lady carry 1v1. Oh, Yukal in trouble.
Cease and desist does come on down there. Seismic Shove does pull Yukal back as decent double knockup comes in, and oh my god! The Unleashed Power, massive damage onto the Talia, but he still managed to take down Yukal beforehand. Sponge now finding himself in a world of hurt though, as the bouncy castle is put up, and Lehens is unfortunately not old enough to participate. Just not allowed to join, and it is just Sponge. It's going to be taken down. Yeah, Lehens the oldest player, or is it Scout? As anyway, Taeyun once again going to get engaged on here by Jiu. The barrier does come on down for both of them. Solar Flare to pick up Jiu though, and Andil a little bit too late, or without quite as much range as the Leona. Herald once again here for Rich. Massive shield as the Cassante just dives into the backline. The Herald does come on through, and it looks like DRX is just going to be able to take this Dragon without too much of a kerfuffle. Yeah, there it goes. Also grab a little bit of value here out of the Rift Herald at the same time in this bottom lane. Yeah, Sponge is also looking for some Krugs. Rich doesn't like that, but he is pushed away from his turret. Scout is down here as Lehens moving over as well. It is Operation Let's Kill Rich, and it is going to work out as he gets a big old shield. Scout trying to find the angle. Oh, one more auto, and there's the threaded volley, but Andil just going to knock him into the sky, and that's going to mean it's a 1-for-1 in the end.
And the fact is you need Taeyun to be just playing at a super high level consistently to be getting the value out of your composition. It's very risky.
And I mean, this was the pick that he built notoriety on, really fully committing, but Sponge is still on this Dragon, and now Andil trying to get himself into the backline. Hex
the flank
to get him over there. Let's see whether Rich can find the angle as the headbutt comes in, and oh my goodness, that is not where Scout wanted to be. How did he even get there? I'm not even sure he knows at this point in time, but somehow he's now in the death chamber, and that is Soul Point going over to DRX.
Such a great angle there from Andil to find Scout, and he just gets bounce housed.
After the Trinity Force, but it looks like no more casualties apart from this turret.
Turret should just go down here. But yeah, I mean, we talked about lack of damage. If you lose one of your carries, you're especially in the bin here.
The fact that it's a bounce house and you get all out of it, like you're just being thrown every single direction.
Yeah, I think when you saw the Hex Gate, he just had to trade flashes with Andil, which I'm not gonna lie, if he did that, that'd be like such an insane level of foresight.
Yeah, yeah.
That is the only way he lives there. Is like he has to read the Alistair and be like, I have to trade flashes immediately, and that'd be like one of the greatest plays we've seen in the LCK Cup so far. But
instead, it was a great play that was really having some phenomenal games, this LCK Cup.
Yeah.
I think it's so far been the greatest that we've seen him consistency-wise. Is all right, Weaver's Wall does come towards the top side. Seismic Shove does go a little bit wide, but I think they've still got enough to take down the Syndra. Andil and Willa not going to be able to offer enough damage back. And so punish Yukal in side lanes. Andil Does see that this ward is here. Rich is now moving over. They spot Lehens as Gio looks to get himself to safety. The seismic shove's done nothing, and Willa finds everyone with the flag and drag as Rich looking to get into that backline onto Taeyeon. The arcane shift is good, but the flash is there. Rich doesn't hit the Q though. Taeyeon survives for a long time, but Scout's dead. The damage is gone, and Nongshim just invited DRX to the Baron pit and basically fed it to them.
That was such a crazy fight, and honestly, Jiwoo just kind of went melee mode on the Corki, flew straight in and just went, you guys don't have the damage to deal with me, and I'm just going to get maximum Gatling gun value in this situation.
They're lacking damage. You know, one of the damage-dealing members is missing. Well, Nongshim unfortunately didn't draft any damage in their composition, so it was already missing on their side, and perhaps they didn't.
Because we already had... Oh.
And's going to get knocked up as Willa looking to cause a ruckus. Andal finds himself in an awkward position here as Yukal ghosting around the fight. There's the Cataclysm right on top of Scout. They're looking to take him down as Rich gets into the backline and just disrupts everyone. That's two already on the floor. Taeyeon thinks he's in safety, but this is Kasante, and Rich is going to chase him down. Taeyeon and Kingen, the only ones still standing here is... Okay, Andal's going to get flashed on. He does go down, but there's the flash forward from Rich. He's underneath the turret, and he looks like he doesn't care. Maybe he should care a little, as DRX might be breaking open the base, or they might just be leaving because they're looking a little worse for wear.
I just want to note, Rich has joined the Bandle Pipers.
Bandle Pipes.
Yes, but I'm saying he's picked up the item. So
I know.
So he has it, right?
Yeah.
He's...
Oh, right. So he's actually started playing.
He's performing.
Yeah,
yes.
He's performing.
That's
now.
the point I'm making.
It's actually even on levels, so the levels aren't really much.
He just
big
keeps
deal.
valking forward.
He does, and he does it with impunity as there's the all-out on top of Taeyeon as Rich is looking for the angle, but there are a lot of bad guys around him. He doesn't have much to get this one done. There's the Weaver's Wall. Rich survived for way too long as Willa. I mean, Taeyeon is still firing out damage, but Sponge is just dead. And Jiu, he has a Valkyrie and he's not afraid to use it. Taeyeon, well, he maybe, okay, could have used it a bit better than that, but that's fine. That is 2 dead for Nongshim, 1 for DRX, and Hextech Soul was already there. Like, this is already a really rough time. Wait, hang on.
I think Scout's in a little bit of trouble.
I think Scout may have just realized that the trouble has arrived. Scout of the Week comes in, Pulverize, and he's dead.
How many deaths is Scout on in this series?
6.
Right.
They're not going to have a great time.
Who walked 350 kilometers, please tell me that's a DRX fan. Because that's
God.
Oh my God. Like, no, you didn't win around. Please.
That would be... Surely they're not going to leave early after, you know, putting in all that effort.
I mean, what difference does it make? It's a rounding error at that point. No, he wants to go.
All right, well, here's the flank. Solar Flare doesn't do too much. The Weaver's Wall goes down there. They're looking for Jiu. Let's see whether they can take it. The Pulverize is great peel, though, and Scout is already running so incredibly far. Lance is going to get taken down. Jiu is still okay. Valkyrieing for fun in the middle of the lane. Taeyeon's dead, so much of the damage is now missing. And there's that bouncy castle we were talking about. That is going to spell the end of King, and Scout had actually gone a really large distance away, but it wasn't far enough to get away from Willa.
G was just too tanky. He just kind of stands there and absorbs it all, and then says, you know what?
And what? Yeah. No, I'm Valken along. It was sort of just driving through. It wasn't going very far, doing very much, but he was pressing W while he was getting there. DRX are going to look to do it again, move themselves to match point in this series against Nongshim. I didn't even think this was going to be the matchup yesterday, and now DRX are finding angles 2 and 0. Is it just going to be a sweep? That'd be ridiculous. I mean, surely not.
And then when it comes to team fights, I feel like, you know, there's still going to be more power on the side of Jiu and Andal anyway. And it's not like you have that engage power that's going to sync up with the Wukong. Like, we've seen Renata get massive value in the 5v5s.
Of things that are happening. It's just trading. These two teams just constantly hit each other with stuff. Flash forward, and there's the death ray. Solo kill from Scout, he's back!
On a Victor at level 3.
Is it gonna proc? The answer's no.
That was close.
The burn
that was close.
is really misleading because it almost looks like they have Ignite. There is no Ignite there. The flash! Oh! And Andal picks it up with the Mantra Q!
Pretty well performing 2v2. We'll see the replay here of Scout finding this. So it's pretty close, and Yukal's trying to move up, I think, to get the passive proc, but then uses his Q on the wave there. Q from Scout there, the auto and the E.
Yeah, manages to proc the auto. Very, very even. And there is still a bit of a CS lead for Taeyeon as well. He didn't die, as Lehens is now moving back down once more. Taeyeon moves in, good handshake there, as they look to try and take on Andal, who's running away as far as he can. Doesn't have the flash though, remember, as they look to turn now onto Ju. There is just full vision control here for DRX as Andal moves in. Maybe a little bit too far, as there's the bailout, and it doesn't work. Now Lehens is likely to be dead. The handshake comes on through, but Ju's like, I'm glad you're being polite. However, I still want to kill you, as there's the Inspire Shield. And the Q, is it going to connect? Oh, the Comet was almost enough. And Force of Will doesn't quite get there, and Sponge is going to be able to keep his support alive. But it's still a disaster, and now Rich is looking to try and kill Kingin, but it barely works. Oh my gosh.
You get to kill him. So if we actually watch here, passive stacks are built up now. He's got the 3 grenades around him. He walks off, and he stays in the brush, waits. They time out. So now he has to restack him, then he gets Mantra W. So he doesn't get to proc the passive stack, otherwise he probably would have just died.
As Scout walks down, there is an Aurora moving over. There's the Cyclone picked up. As Sponge looks for another one. There it is. Lehens gets the handshake as Willer is going to get taken out, and Taeyeon is now on the board. Yukao looks to bounce back. But Nongshim, they manage to find their target. They take down the enemy jungler, and that should mean Dragon as well. The Rich has loved Na, like since the beginning of his career when he joined League of Legends from Heroes of the Storm. Like, this was one of his wheelhouse champions. We always used to speak of Rich as like this mastery guy, right? He only really had a few strings to his bow, but this was one of them. And so very happy to be on this Na, being the frustrating point on the map.
From Nongshim here, allowing Sponge to start up the Dragon, but his bot really can't connect with the jungle. And will it even get some poke on it? They thins out, not something you typically expect to see.
Yeah, the win becomes lightning poke. You love to see it. That's all right, Ju's cleared out that wave. Nongshim are going to look to get in here. Hostile takeover does nothing because there's a Mikhail's already built up. Willa gets out, is now Chains of Corruption. They go wide. Ju trying to kite this one out, and there's the bailout, but the flash was too good. Out of Ju, the bailout does nothing, and now Scout's in trouble. Yukao's cleaning up. And yeah, there's that gravity well we were talking about. Wish he still had the Mikhails because he could run on it.
Plays that were actually so slick. I feel like Andal and Ju in particular with some really nice ones, and now Scout in big trouble.
Yeah, he is going to get snared once again. There's that gravity well. But there's the spell shield, and it's a Cloud Soul. Love to see that. As Boomerang Blade comes on in, Ju just wants nothing to do with this, and he's happy to give the kill over to Willa, and they will tidy it up.
I mean, the buffer from Andal was just so nice to not get caught by the hostile takeover.
Oh, man.
And that fade away.
Just beautifully done.
I mean, they're just on fire right now.
All right, well, I mean, we shouldn't be surprised because DRX did this to Nongshim last time.
I love just doubling down on the years.
All right, let's just have it can be loads of different people's years. There's a Crescent Guard in the backline. Scout taking a lot of damage, and he's just dead before he can really do anything at all. Between Worlds, and Taeyeon is so far up. It's a flanking Sivir, but somehow it's working. Down goes the Varus. The rest of Nongshim are looking to exit, and the Crocodile, yeah, just went the way of all the other dinosaurs, I think.
Once again, playing so well, they instantly take out Scout, unable to do anything with this mobile Victor, and the cleanup is just so swift. More gold in the pockets of DRX. Herald picked up as well. Well, I say that. Looks like that might be a Sneaky Monkey.
Sneaky Monkey comes in. Willer in a little bit of trouble here, and that is just a dead Xin Zhao, and should be a free Rift Herald, but they are pinging. Sponge is going to have to get this one done quickly. Picks up the eye, and now Ju is in melee range of a Wukong. Sponge is dead.
Okay, well, Herald secured. Big
there we go.
Down. They did
fire. Movement speed.
They slowed down the Chains of Corruption a while ago as well, so it does feel very late.
Yeah, it's even more difficult to hit now.
Yeah.
Talk to Yellow Pete. Like, release Varus was so hard to hit that off.
When you're playing into a Sivir and then the Karma's already got Mikhails, it's just like, why even bother?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Game's not looking good. It's 18 minutes and there's a 7.7k gold lead. So DRX in full control, and it's kind of hitting desperation point for Nongshim in this game, in this series. And in their chances for making playoffs, they're looking for Rich now, though, and
he did flash. Now we've got Willa moving in. Look at that angle. Fantastic use of the ulti. Hostile takeover, but there is the ult out of Rich as well. Just nods them back. Doesn't have much left in the tank. There's a teleport also there, so Rich is still very dead.
One kill. Andal is on vision, though.
They are canceling backs.
This is 2 kills.
Andal is dead. Oh, gets himself a big old shield. Never mind, he's alive. And now Kingan's been baited, knocked up, destroyed. That's UCal grabbing a kill for himself.
Yeah, true. She was inspiring.
All right,
and Andal's back on the Rift. Dragon picked up for Willa. If this team gets Cloud Soul, goes without saying, it's just...
Oh, God. Okay, there's another handshake. They've just gotten better at it over time. As Rich is going to spot Sponge, and Sponge is just going to not be allowed to do his Gromp anymore, I guess. What? I'm going to stop trying to fish for win conditions unless it's the team that's winning.
It's just... Okay, look.
You don't need to clutch at straws if it's just only straws.
Look, they have engaged Jules, okay? I think they just need to get them on Baron.
Standing on each other.
Yes.
They will likely die.
That's the pitch. That's the pitch.
Do
it now. No.
Okay, let's see whether they can get it done as Rich just bounces over. Hostile takeover was... I can't do the Draco's quote, I don't think.
It hit no one.
It's damn well missing. As the Brambleback is also looking hostile.
Wait, that'll bait them on a Baron. Okay.
Oh.
Now, okay, Lehens is low level, so he'll respawn quicker.
I mean, killing Lehens has actually been the downfall of teams in the past.
Okay, now they just need to somehow approach the Baron.
Why did Kingan take half of his health bar from UCal? I feel like UCal's not that fed. But I guess he is.
Everyone's fed.
Yeah, I think they are. As now, Kingan gets on top of him. UCal's in trouble. He does die. As Rich now gets over Taeun. Another flanking Geo angle. How does he keep getting away with this as Andal's flashing after Sponge? He is now alone on the other side. It was not great.
Who's following you?
No one.
Okay.
All right, Willa is going to have to press his ultimate button. Now just goes in, looking for a bit of a re-engage. Gio's going to show up as well. Teleport in as now Rich gets a flank angle, but Kingan's on top of him. Sponge could be in trouble, though. There's so much damage here out of DRX, and Gio just cuts him down. Still, Rich gets himself out of there. The Nabar is in a decent position.
That's jungler down.
Yeah, does that mean that Baron is a bit easier to take off?
I think on the cards.
Oh, I hope not too. All right, UCal on a flank angle is spotted here by Nongshim. They're looking to try and stop this. Of course, they have no smite to do so. They need to try and bait a turn or something like that. But DRX are just doing it. They will just take it. And unfortunately, this is on hit Varus, and smite's better now.
Yeah.
So no Gumayushi action
Scout
here for
also
Taeun.
had no ult available, which is one of your bigger tools for when they ult in the Baron pit. A little bit unfortunate. They do get a tower, though.
There you go. Bounty gold, baby.
That's something.
That's going to, like, the gold in brackets on the end screen. That's also really cool.
Jiwoo bought...
DRX could just do no wrong today.
This is starting to feel a little scrappy, though. With how far ahead...
Jiwoo, what are we doing? There's a bailout. He got the kill too late, though, and Taeun is still going to die. Kingan dead as well. Engage Sivir. Ladies and gentlemen, you had the flanking version. I give you the engage version. And it would never have worked if they weren't absurdly far ahead. However, they are, so it did. And Nexus inhibitor turret is going to go down. Is this end of the game off the back of engage Sivir, Orcs?
I think it might be. I've never seen such a literal slap with a wallet, but it was right there.
Oh my goodness. Scout gonna flash out of the way as Lehens just trying to be frustrating. Bailout buys him a little bit of time, but Rich is able to limp away with his life intact. And Scout alive. They're not going to be able to end because their 80 carry sacrificed themselves to win a team fight.
Just a little bit of goofiness right at the end. A little bit of goofiness. I don't want to criticize them. Just a little bit of goofiness. They got the Cloud Soul. Still nearly done.
Also, like a gigantic shutdown.
Yeah, I'm just a little bit concerned. Okay, the 1,000 gold shutdown, a little bit concerned. Just, you know, DRX, it's in your hands. We don't want to see a KT situation. That's all I'm worried about. Okay, and that's all I'm worried about.
Slow motion. All right, well, Will is going in once again, and he finds the 3 talent strike. Hostile takeover is a little bit better, but UCal, oh my God,
where'd he go?
Just blows him up, and Scout gonna suffer the same fate. No bailout for him, as now Sponge desperately trying to escape. Kingan kind of massive, and does get some stride breaker value, but Xiu just swoops in, going 1 billion miles per hour, and DRX RedForce will continue that momentum straight into the Nexus turrets and end this series before you could blink. A 3-0, the most unprecedented of upsets. And look, honestly, I'm not that surprised.
These were some of the best highlights from today's matchup. Which moment was your favorite? Let me know in the comment section below. This is OP, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.